If your church doesn't have prophecy, doesn't have prophets prophesying to it, you're in the wrong church. If your church has gossip, you're in the wrong church. If your church has slander, you're in the wrong church. If your church has hookup culture, they call it, you're in the wrong church. I went to a church, there was some night service, something like that. There was a woman with a red lipstick on and a short dress. I think she was wearing a short dress. She was out there looking for a man. That's why she went to church. If your church is a social club or hookup club, you're in the wrong church. If your church doesn't love you, you're in the wrong church. And gossip and slander and hooking up are an indication that your church doesn't love you. If your pastor or priest mocks people, you're in the wrong church. If the leadership is doing these things, you're in the wrong church. If your church does not go out on the street and give money to the poor, you're in the wrong church. There was a part in the scriptures, in the Gospels, where Judas was told, what you do quickly. And the disciples thought, I think the apostles and the other disciples were there. It was a big room, you can see it on the internet. That he wanted him to give money to the poor, to give to the poor, because he held the purse. If your church, so they did that. If your church divides itself from other churches, you're in the wrong church. If your church accepts homosexuality, bestiality, pornography, or if your members watch sexual movies, you're in the wrong church. I had a deacon swindle me. A deacon of my church swindle me with a car. He gave me a car that seemed good. It was just a temporary fix. And he swindled me out of my money. And I got a crappy car. If your deacons and your elders and your pastors and your priests and whoever else they would be will swindle people and lie about people and mischaracterize people and gang up against people, if your church does not have Christians, you're in the wrong church. It ought to be obvious. By your fruits you will know them, or by their fruits you will know them, or by their fruit you will know them. There is no right church. They put on a nice face. They're smiling. They'll take you out to dinner. They'll spend money on you. But when you're hard up for cash, they won't help. I went to a church. I told them I was poor. I told them I couldn't afford to do my laundry. I had to do it in the bathtub. And I think one of the elders said he would give me money from the church benevolence fund, but no one Christian except for one, or no one person except for one, gave me any money at all. I was poor. I had a friend who was selling me his friend's car, and he wanted me to pay him. You know, it wasn't okay, well, you know, I'll give this to you because you're poor, you're having a hard time. No, he wanted me to pay him. And when I needed to get around before I got a car, I was told to take the bus. Christians don't leave people out to dry. Christians don't leave Christians out to dry. When someone is sick and suffering, they don't tell them to get a job. Not many people are sick and suffering. The Christians do. If your church has people in it that are hitting on you, you're in the wrong church. There is no right church. They're all the same. The people of God are different. You can call it a church, but why use the world's terms? The Bible says ecclesia, the called out. These people are called out of their homes to meet at a place where they swindle, as happened to me, gossip and slander, as happened to me, make sexual advances, make homosexual advances, as happened to me. The church is divided. If your church says, we are the right church, you're in the wrong church. We are the right church and they're wrong. You're in the wrong church. If your church divides, says, okay, well, this person is not our denomination, so we don't associate with them. And the church that accepts all people and say, oh, I don't care what you believe, you're a Christian. You know, you believe in Jesus, right? That's all that counts. And they'll say they believe in Jesus. But they will say they believe in Jesus. They will say, we follow the Bible. But you say, well, where's your speaking in tongues? Where's your prophecy? Where's your rebuke of those who do evil? You know, Paul corrected people, and he wasn't the only one in the different ecclesias and different gatherings that he went to and spoke at. He didn't let them go on to do whatever they wanted to do. He didn't say, well, you know, okay, well, let's just talk about this person behind his back. He said, let's deal with this. Let's get people to stop what they're doing. Because a lot of people will say, well, you know, we can't expect the church to be perfect because the church back in the day, Paul criticized it. It was imperfect. But there was an attitude that, hey, you need to shape up. There's not that attitude in the church today. There's not that attitude in the modern church. All right. God bless.